Stop scrolling and listen. Google just dropped a new browser that might actually kill the tab clutter for good. It's called Disco, and it doesn't just show your website, it actually builds apps while you surf. If you're tired of 50 tabs open just to plan a vacation, this update seems to be waiting for you. Imagine if your browser wasn't just a window to the web, but a proactive personal assistant. Google's new Disco browser uses Gemini 3 AI to look at your open tabs and instantly build custom tools, like a travel planner or a research dashboard, right in the sidebar. It's currently a Mac exclusive experiment from Google Labs, but it represents a massive shift from passive browsing to active doing. So this is a lot similar to what we've seen, well, similar but different with Atlas and the other AI browsers, because this kind of actually takes what you're doing and just builds apps and stuff from them.
Yeah, I still don't understand why you would want an app built when you're browsing. Like, I get you're talking about like a travel planner and things like that. If this didn't come out now and it came out like April 1st, I would think it's more of an April Fool's. I'm not understanding the use cases for this. Like, I can get it sometimes, like, okay, if a user is planning a trip and they've got tabs open on flights, hotels, so they can an interactive itinerary planner. Fine, that's cool, I guess. But I'm not always doing that. Like, I'm researching and I'm a tech geek, and I think this is one of those things that's going to fail very quickly. But I could be wrong. What do you think?
Well, I'm on the wait list for this. There's a lot of cool Google experiments, and I play around with a lot of them. I don't know if anybody is checking them out. We'll take a look in a minute. And I've got the video for coming on. I hate the fact that they all use these travel planner example, the thing that somebody does twice a year or once a year or once every 2 years, and we're somehow going to build an app for that. It doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is things you do every day. So if you've got multiple tabs open and you're copying and pasting stuff from here to there, an example would be, and I go to this example all the time, in WordPress, there are things you can't programmatically fill up sometimes without doing some really funky things. So a lot of times when I'm updating my sites, I have to get the meta description, I got to get the keywords, I got to publish it to a certain date. There's things I got to manually go and fill in. And I usually got to copy it from a spreadsheet or another thing over to the right field. So I could easily see, hey, this would be a tool that say, just do that. Here, go take these and put them in here. Let me show you how to do it. And then now it's your turn. And if it could take over that job for me, great. That would be great.
Okay, I get that. But that's the same as all these other browsers. Like, you don't need it to build an app for that.
Well, my point, yeah, I disagree, though. The problem with all the other app, I was doing this with Atlas, and I was doing this with, let me jump back to this one. The Anthropic one.
Comet?
Anyway, yeah, Comet, sorry. But they are very inefficient. The thing about building an app is it quickly learns, like, to do exactly what I did, and I demoed that before with a Comet or Atlas, can't remember which one off the top of my head. It always has to figure it out. Okay, the user wants me to do this. Let me go open the page. The page didn't open fast enough, so I got to re-click the button, but it's already open. And then it's scrolling. It can't find a thing. It's got to scroll down. I don't see it. Let me grab the page again. Oh, it's at the bottom. It takes a while every time to figure it out, rather than an app would say, all right, I'm going to learn every time and say, oh, it's always at the bottom. I'm just going to jump to it. It's always here. Let's just do it here. So all of a sudden you say, okay, here's my sheet. Go fill up my metadata for these posts. I got 10 of them here. Go do it. And bing, bing, bing. It'll do it way more efficiently than a browser that really has to figure things out every single time.
Okay, I get that. But can't you just introduce memory then into these browsers instead of, like, I don't understand. I think they're selling it wrong because they're saying, oh, it's going to take your tabs and build an app from that. Like, I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're saying this is the end of tabs, because it's actually the opposite. But I mean, you could do a lot with this once you get your head around agents forms and say, okay, well, if I apply agents to this and say, there's a lot of things I do. Like, for example, I could open up my, you can do all sorts of things, but I could open up my competitions websites and say, okay, this is my competition. I want you to scan them for price changes, for this, for that, complaints, and then do something over here for me, and then do something over here for me, and then do something over here for me. So again, it depends on how efficient they are and how good they can do the multi-step, do something here and then do something over there and then do something over there. But that is very interesting. For example, an email comes in with an invoice. I want to grab it. I want to take a snapshot of it. I want to open up QuickBooks in my browser. I want to assign it to the right thing, and I want to save it, and I want it not to have to figure that out every time. So you could build an interaction to do that. Like, it just, you might have other ways to do it, and these might not be the best examples. Google's terrible at, because, hey, let's do a travel thing. It's like, okay, but let's do something that people do on a regular basis. Like, I don't know, what do you do every morning? Searching your email, searching news, searching social media. We can get the browser to do that for you.
Yeah, but again, why? Like, I don't need the browser to search that. Like, I go to my websites and I read it up to where I read the last time, and that's it. Like, I guess maybe I'm becoming an old man and I'm stuck in my ways, kind of thing. But I don't see the novelty in the. I just don't see this.
I guess it's just more user-friendly automation at the front end. So, like, I don't know how
often. Really user-friendly automation, because like that. What happens if you have a tab of, say, something that you don't want as part of the app, and then it just includes that and it builds the app? Like I
assume you're not a moron and have multiple porn sites and stuff up while you're building your app and say, hey, build this app.
No, but I'm just saying, I don't get it.
Well, and again, it does to your prompt. And so you would build the tabs and stuff in Disco, have them open, and then tell it, hey, do this, hey, do that. So it's not like you'd have all these things. So you're specifically trying to automate workflows that make sense to you. For example, I'm on my Bloomberg app website with all my trackers. When the Disco app sees something happen, it'll go open up my E-Trade app and sell, or open up my E-Trade app and buy. I don't know. I'm just using it as an example. These are things you can get it to do based on stuff. So you're right to say that the use case examples they give aren't great, but you got to sit and turn around and say, what is it you really do that takes time, and how do we automate that? Or what are those things you don't really know how to do? For example, we did the example of find the best camera. You can build the app that'll shop for you based on your criteria, and it'll go to those websites, find the stuff, and surface those things to you. How useful that is.
Yeah.
So there's other automation things that you can do. I
think they positioned it wrong, completely wrong, right out of the start. So just because of that, I'm not using it.
And that's fine. But like, for example, one of the apps is using Google Maps to do stuff. But what if you just said, okay, I can develop a Google Maps scraper to scrape potential clients in a geographical area and do a bunch of things with them, and then based on a whole bunch of stuff, using this app easily enough. Okay, well, that's interesting. I can do it other ways, but I'm just saying, when I say surfacing it to the end user, you're not running code in the back end. You're not using end-to-end to connect nodes and trying to figure out all this credential stuff. You're in a browser saying, hey, grab the data from here and go do this and go do that. That piece should be easier to the end user, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a big miss, and they're going to have to kind of rethink how they're presenting this, but I could be wrong.
These are Google experiments, right? There's a lot of stuff in here, and I don't know if you've gone, anybody who's listening, go to labs.google/experiments, and you'll see all this stuff. And there's some really interesting, cool tools in here. Most of these will not become products. They're experimenting to figure out what services, what use cases, what should they build. They're saying some of these features in Disco will probably eventually make it to their Chrome AI browser. So it's just, these are all experiments for them.
Yeah.
if you haven't looked at it, I'm just going to quickly go through this because it's worth taking a look. Again, labs.google/experiments. CC is an experimental AI. It doesn't work for people who have a corporate Google account, but if you have a personal account, which some gets a personalized email briefing every morning, which tells you about your appointments, what emails you have to reply to, all that stuff comes in, which is interesting. Doppel is an experiment from Google Labs that lets you discover, try on, and shop personal looks. So you can actually find outfits, put them on yourself, and see what they look like, which is interesting. Pomeli is basically on-brand marketing and social media stuff. It actually pretty cool. I've been experimenting with it a little bit. I'm just not sure if it's going to let me in because it's busy at times. And I just let me share this for now. So it went ahead and created a bunch of these. You can see these, right?
Yeah.
So these just basic from a prompt. Pomeli, you point it at your website, it grabs your logo, it grabs your fonts, it grabs your colors, it grabs a whole bunch of images. And then you say, okay, what do you want to run this campaign about? And then it starts creating these images or videos or whatnot of that for you. And it does a pretty darn good job of it. And so
Cool.
It's worth taking a look at if you're into that. I get these are all free, by the way. Some of them, they take another level and you get more access if you have a Google Workspace account or whatever. Opal is their build and edit mini apps, which is interesting. It's like their version of N8N.
Okay.
They have a learning tool that will build an interactive experience to teach you stuff. Music Sandbox, Stacks, Archives, Project Mariner, Flow, which allows you to create videos using VO3 in a nice way. Stitch creates Figma-like images that you can port right into Figma or whatever for your app. Like, these are all free. Jules is a asynchronous coding agent that automates tasks within GitHub workflows like bug fixes, writing, tests, and adding features.
I get all of those. Those all make sense to me.
But again, these things are not all going to become products. A lot of them are experiments.
Yeah.
You know, so go and take a look because you can usually generate a bunch of videos for free. There's a ton of crap here. And I get that maybe Disco, like they're not putting this as their primary browser. They're actually saying some of these things might end up in the Chrome browser. So I don't know how much Disco will actually be part of something. Now, I've only used Google's access to their AI browser is limited. I've been able to use it through anti-gravity a fair bit. It's very interesting. You also have to be careful when you trigger these AI browsers because Cloudflare will block you in a microsecond if it thinks you're an AI browser. So, and I've had that happen. So,
good to know.
Just good to know because there's a lot of companies out there that are against this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sharing all these things. So check out all Google experiments. I don't know if you think Disco will be, I don't like the trip planning, but I like the homework research. It can generate 3D models like solar systems or organized timelines based on articles or reading or history. So there's some cool things it can do. I've signed up for the beta, so we'll have to see, and I'll experiment when it comes out, and we'll see what kind of use cases I come up with. But I'm curious to see what the audience is out there. Is Disco proving that the future of web isn't about searching for information, it's about having AI synthesize that information for us instantly? I think the answer is yes, but Disco might not be the solution to do that. But here's the $1 million question. Are you willing to let Google watch every move in exchange for a browser that does your homework? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit the follow button.
Sorry.
No worries, John. I know you're not. What do you got going on, John? This is stuff that's going out in the next week or so.
Yeah, so we've got some events at the Toronto Business Development Center. I'm doing some lunch and learns in person there. It's a great organization, great incubator. And then February, what date is the Startup Drinks, Craig?
I closed that, so I'm not sure. February 19th, I believe.
February 19th. But have a look at startupdrinks.com. startupdrinksTO.com for that event and other events. Yeah, if you need some help with government funding, Shred, or any other grants, reach out to me on LinkedIn. But if you're interested in AI automation workflows or you need help with your business, what can they do, Craig?
Well, we've got lots of stuff going on over at flowgrammar.ca where we help businesses implement AI and business automation so they can scale faster and more reliable, get more leads, grow faster. We also have a growing community over at flowgrammars.ca where we do Flow Grammar Cafe, we do live build events, we do demo events, we get the community together online and in person several times a month to show and demo and support anybody who's trying to do this, learn automation, end-to-end AI agent building. So check all that out. We have a series of events called Flow Grammar Cafe. The next one's February 6th, March 6th, and April 2nd. We do those right now in partnership with Workhouse, and those are full day drop-in headphones, laptop, and work. And we'll have some experts on site that can help you troubleshoot. And we all kind of do a little walkthrough in the afternoon about what you're working on and, show us what you're working on and stuff. And it's really cool. So check all that out over at flowgrammar.ca and flowgrammars.ca, and coming soon. And you can sign up for this now, flowgramming.space. An AI agent and workflow marketplace where people can buy and sell agents or workflows. So if you're building agents and don't know what to do with them, where to sell them, go over there and check that out. Again, flowgramming.space. Or if you're building workflows, or if you want agents or workflows built, you can go over there and buy them. We have some interesting guarantees, and it's coming soon, so you can get your name on the waiting list right now. That's all we got going on, John. For everything else, go to torontostarts.com. I don't even think I mentioned it that whole time. Thanks everyone for watching. All the information about CES, and these interesting things. Any last words, John?
No. Check out our next episode. We're going to be talking about the weird stuff at CES. So,
all right, everyone. Thanks for watching.